It's finally starting to feel like spring has arrived, so I thought that this would be a perfect opportunity to talk to you guys about another essential part of your lawn care program, and that is water. Let's get out of the weeds. I'd like to thank you guys for coming back for yet another video. If you like the content I'm putting out, please be sure to like and subscribe to this channel if you're not already. And so for those of you who watched my last video, I talked all about getting rid of some of the weeds that you're going to see in your yard in the spring, primarily focused on dandelions and a few others. And so in that video, I had a little clip of me actually spraying some of the weeds with some of the ready to spray mixture that I had. And so I wanted to show you guys the results of that. And so now I'll put that up here on the screen, and you can see it's been exactly 1 week since I did the application on those weeds. And you can see that the weed control did an excellent job of knocking those weeds out. And so this leads me to what I want to briefly talk about today, and that is what your lawn needs as far as water. So if you look around at different lawns during the spring, you'll see that almost everybody starts out on an equal playing field. Even people who don't take care of their lawns at all, most of them are still having really nice looking green lawns early in the spring. And so what's going to happen is over the course of the season, we're going to start getting less water and temperatures are going to start rising. And so right now we're getting plenty of water and ideal temperatures. So when you start getting those days that are in the 50s and 60s as highs, the grass is really thriving under those temperatures, plus getting all that rain really is going to help the grass thrive. And so that's why you see everybody's lawn looking nice and looking green right now. And so what's going to happen over the next couple months is going to be those that don't actually have an irrigation plan for their grass are going to start falling behind a little bit as far as what it looks like. And now this isn't harmful to your grass, because if you just let your grass go and don't water it, it can go into summer dormancy and then it'll come back whenever the grass feels that it's safe to come back out. But just know that in the July, August, Septembers for our cool season, folks, the grass will go dormant if you're not adding water to it, because we are not going to get enough water to sustain your grass being active and being green. For your cool season grass to thrive, it needs between 1 to 1.5 inches of water per week. In the spring, when we're getting rain every day or every few days, the grass is easily getting this, actually sometimes getting even a lot more than that. And so your grass is just all happy and just doing well because temperatures are mild and it's got tons of water to work with there. And so your grass is looking really nice. And so what you're going to want to do is start paying attention to how much water you're getting throughout the week, and then be able to substitute what you're not getting with irrigating your grass. So now I'll put up on the screen here a picture of what my lawn looks compared to my neighbors whenever we're in early spring, when everything's green. And then now I'll show you a picture on the screen of what the lawn looks like whenever we get into the summer compared to neighbors who aren't watering their grass at all. And you can see it's a night and day difference. And so right now it's not a big deal as far as having much of a watering schedule. And some of you, if you have an irrigation system, it might not even be turned on yet. And that's just because we're getting enough rain to sustain the grass right now. And so what you want to do over the next coming weeks and months is get a good irrigation plan together. Figure out how you're going to water your lawn. If you have an in-ground irrigation system, this makes it much easier, because you gotta just fine-tune a schedule, and then as long as you have good coverage, you should be able to give your grass plenty of water throughout the growing season. Now, for those of you who don't have in-ground irrigation systems, it's a little bit more hands-on, because you're having to actually take sprinklers, go out there and make sure you're moving sprinklers around to make sure your grass gets the coverage that it needs. As the season goes on, I will do a more in-depth video as far as watering, making sure you're running your sprinklers at the right amount of time and everything. But just to kind of briefly cover it, what you'd like to do whenever you are irrigating your lawn is you want to try to get down about a 1/2 inch with every application that you put down of irrigation. You want to water deep and be infrequently. And so you don't want to just water for like 10 minutes every day. And what that's going to do is it's not going to allow the water to soak down and encourage your grass's roots to go deep. And so if you're just watering shallow, the roots are trying to find where the water is because they like that water. And so if you're watering shallow, you're only watering just a little tiny bit and it's not getting deep into the ground, your roots are going to be more shallow. But if you do less watering, but do it for longer periods of time and allow that water to really soak down in the ground, your roots, it's going to encourage deep roots and therefore you're going to in turn see stronger, healthier grass. And so now when I say a ½ inch each time, the easiest way to do this is to actually physically measure how much water your irrigation system's putting out or your sprinkler's putting out and how long it takes. And so what I do is I have a bunch of different tuna cans here, and then I have a rain gauge that I'll sit out in the areas that I want to measure to see the water. And what I'll do is I'll sit them out, and then I mark these cans at a ½ inch. So you can see down here, that's a ½ inch line on this can. And what I'll do is I'll sit these cans all throughout the zone that I'm wanting to get watered, and I'll let the sprinklers run, and then I'll check whenever I get this to a ½ inch and see how long it takes. So then that way I know for the rest of the year, if I want to get a ½ inch down on that section, I need to run it for X amount of time. So if you've never really taken on the challenge of watering your lawn, and this is going to be your first year, I want you guys to start planning ahead of what you want to get and figure out a good way to irrigate your lawn once we start getting into the warmer temperatures, because it's going to be vitally important if you want to keep your lawn green and thriving throughout the summer months. Also, cold season grass starts to really struggle once we start getting above 85 degrees on our outside air temperatures. So when you start getting those hot high 80s into the 90s, cool season grass will really start to struggle. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time when we get out of the weeds into a beautiful lawn.